Wow, I can even record from here.
So it's over to you now.
Okay.
It's over to you now.
All right. Okay.
Over to you now.
Okay, it's fine. I think we are just 2 minutes away.
Wow, for me, let's not talk. It's 3 minutes.
Yeah, are you the one that joined with this other device, Samsung SM 08027F?
No, no.
Okay,
Device
I
from
think
money.
we already have someone joined already. Okay, let's just wait a few more minutes so that we can get started properly.
To go down, oh, we eat something else. It's trying to go down, oh, we eat something else. It's trying to go down, oh, so insulin gets stuck elevated. And because it's stuck elevated, it gets tired. The signal gets weaker and weaker, so the pancreas releases more insulin, another little Uber to escort this blood sugar. Now we need 2 Ubers to open up the cells for each cell. And then we need 10 units of insulin to open one cell. It keeps going. We need more and more and more. And eventually the cells are saying no more. They are overwhelmed. They resist insulin. They're no longer opening up to grab the sugar. This is when you have become insulin resistant. And most of you probably never heard of insulin resistance. That's kind of ironic. It's not on you. It's ironic because that's the root cause of most of our chronic diseases today.
Samsung SM805. If you are on, can you please unmute? Let me be sure you are him so that we can be sure we have someone. All right. Joining us. Thank you for joining us.
Insulin resistance.
Trying to wait for a few other person
High blood pressure.
so that we can properly get
You can be insulin
started.
resistant for 15 years.
I can see Deborah following, so you're welcome.
Diabetes.
Uh,
Between those 10, 15 years. You could have done something.
okay, you may also want to share the link on your social media now so that a few other persons can join you. That you won't be the only one that would enjoy this beautiful session.
Heard of Alzheimer's?
So
Some form of it is
I've dropped the link on our general group, and you may want to take a look at it one more time. It's time for us to get started now.
All of those. Why? Because our blood sugar is going up and down, and insulin is stuck elevated. Now, let's look at the signs, symptoms of a body that's insulin resistant, and then we'll look at this with the food, because that's where the issue is.
So in few minutes time, we'll be getting started. Please let's get our pen, notepad ready. I promise you it will be a major career shift for quite a number of us. It's a promise, and I'm double sure you have something to take home from this session.
Some people are insulin resistant with a few signs. Some people have a lot of signs. So 1 cup.
All right. Good evening, everyone. In a matter of time now, we'll be getting started. Like, let's just give a few other persons 2 more minutes so that we start 7:05. Yes, 7:05. Let's just wait a little more.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, we have a few more minutes. We just want to wait for a few other persons to join us so that we can start. Oh, we have about 7 people in already. I can cite Professor Adegbite. You are welcome, Professor. Mr. Olushola, you're welcome. Mr. Samuel
Thank you so much.
Ademeji, you're welcome. Thank you for joining this session. All right, we promise to start 7:05 without wasting our time. So, all right, and it's already 7:05 here, West African time. I understand that quite a number of persons are joining us from outside West Africa states. So I don't want to waste our time. I know time now money, according to the book of African uh, mentality. All right. So having said that, you're welcome everyone to this another session of Statistics Graduate Clinic monthly webinar. I must start by tendering my unreserved apology to every one of us for not coming up last week. This is due to the fact that our facilitator was a little bit down with malaria and requested that we should please postpone it to today. And that's why we had to reschedule. So we want to say we are very sorry for the inconveniences. We understand that this may also affect the number of turnouts. Nevertheless, as we have promised, it's going to be a monthly program. The whole idea is to create awareness for data, for statistics, for data analysis, data science, technology, or what have you. A lot of people are sharing a lot of things around data science now. It's all about the buzzwords, but we really want to dive in. 2 months ago, we had our first free data analysis training, and it was completely free. And I know quite a number of people that joined our testimonies. I'll be starting another cohort next week. The registration is still ongoing, which will close, I think, like Thursday or what. We indulge you to try to join. This cohort will be focusing on Excel. And beyond you just talking about it, being able to read one or two things about it, is also the fact that one should be able to get his hand dirty to do one or two things when we have to do it. But as part of our commitment in the community, we very wonderful, beautiful topic that uh, quite a number of us may or may not be familiar with. So many of us don't even want to hear the word, except for those of us that are in around arts and that are not in core mathematical sciences. So the topic we are looking at today is the statistician of the future. how to stay relevant in the data-driven economy. So we'll look at it holistically, not necessarily as a statistician. After all, our facilitator today is not a trained statistician who ended up being my career mentor, just coming from accounting and becoming a force when it comes to the field of data science. And even people like us that have the degree requisite had to really look up to him for direction when it comes to the world of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to quickly read a little about Mr. Yemi Odeneye. And to do that, I will just be walking straight to his LinkedIn profile. And I will just be reading out from his LinkedIn profile. Please permit me to go ahead. Yemi is a data scientist, the first certified analytics professional in Nigeria, and a big data analytics blogger. He is a data analytics professional with extensive experience in data visualization, data integration, predictive modeling. He is passionate about predicting the future of business through the application of advanced analytics, statistical techniques, and market research in understanding and helping businesses build models that can predict human behavior and propensities of consumers with higher level of accuracy. He has a vast knowledge of various machine learning algorithms and has built various analytics models. He predicted the 2015 presidential and governorship elections using advanced analytics and sentiment analysis. We have the link to the prediction here. He is also a high-performing professional with demonstrated ability to drive business expansion through innovative business solutions that increase bottom line and market share. Yemi is an advanced digital analytics evangelist at Connect EDX, an innovative thinker, a loyal and motivated team player who consistently aims to take up new challenges and is not afraid to work outside his comfort zone. He looks forward to data-driven challenges. Some of his areas of expertise are social analytics, customer engagement analytics, fraud analytics, marketing analytics, social analytics, management reporting, and analytics training. And he mentioned quite a number of the tools that he used in performing some of these analytical tools. I must also add that recently, in a few years back, after he relocated to UK, he ventured into another field entirely, still using data. I want to believe he will be sharing some of those things while in the course of this presentation so that we can even all know that this is a wider industry when it comes to the issue of data. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, may I permit you to just unmute yourself now and just give a round of applause to our host for this evening, Mr. Yemi Odeneye. Mr. Yemi Odeneye, you have the floor now. You can take the floor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ife, for that introduction. Can you see my slide?
Not yet.
Okay. So just give me a minute.
It's coming up here. All right, while he's doing that, I don't know if you are with us, can you please unmute yourself and just say hello so that I can know that we have the audience with us?
Hello.
All right, please, I don't mind if you can also mention name and where you are joining us from. It will help us know that we have quite a number of people. Maybe we should start from Professor Adegbite Tobalashe, sir.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Prof.
My name is Adegbite Tobalashe. I lecture at Adeleke University a day. I actually just came back on. I was thrown out, so I don't know what the question is really. Is it introduction or what?
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. You're actually correct, sir. We just want to have a brief introduction of people that are starting with us while he connects his slide. Yeah, we can hear you, Prof. All right, we also have Dr. Amao. Dr. Amao, are you there?
Dr. Ife, can you make me co-host?
Oh, I'm not the host, right?
Yeah, just make me co-host.
Oh, I think that's a challenge.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just give me an invite so I can hear mine.
All right, please.
I guess the network.
Okay, from your end, Prof. Excuse me a moment, please. Okay. Okay. Is there a way to get that done? Miss, okay, I think, all right. I'll make you a co-host. You can now go ahead. You are now a co-host.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, House, can we continue? Amos Steven, are you in the building? Can you hear us? All right,
Yes, we
Deborah.
can.
Okay, thank you very much. Deborah Fallon, sure about you. That must be Dr. Mo's voice. All right. I saw Dr. Dwemene. I saw Uchenna, Samuel Ademeji. I want to believe quite a number of persons can hear us. All right, please let's get started so that we'll not waste our time because we have a lot of things to get in tonight. So, Mr. Yemi, you have the floor now.
So can you see my screen?
Yes, we can now. We can see everything now.
Okay. Thank you once again. So the statistician of the future, how to stay relevant in data-driven economy. So the current landscape, the age of big data and AI. So that is where we are now. We talk about the data tsunami. We talk of the age of big data, AI, the Internet of Things. So the explosion of data across different points from different structures, volume, talking of data running into gigabytes, terabytes, and the likes. We talk about the velocity of the data and the variety, the speed at which this velocity of data is coming up. The varieties, data from social media, from your Facebook interactions, sensor data, data from touch points like the scanning machines. So all these things create that tsunami of data and explosions. And today now, organizations are trying to look at how can we bring out insight from these enormous volumes of data. We're talking an example of data in terms of finance data departments, like especially the healthcare is another sector where volumes of data is being generated. Within the e-commerce sector as well, you see a massive number of data being generated. So it has become a universal asset fueling innovations, growth, and governance. The new age of data, now organizations now compete with data. So it's a matter of survival of who knows how to use the data the most. It's not about just making insight, it's just about details, depth into how you can make beautiful innovations, solutions from this data that is available within the organizations, outside the organizations, to work, calibrate it with existing data that you have within the company and to make insight of it. So it's more of how much you can actually make use of the volume of data that you have that will give you that insight to make innovations. So what's happening now? With the rise of data and technology, we also have rise in making sure we have good machine learning predictive modeling that can help us solve business tasks. So now we have the AI and ML shift. Before now, we'll talk about predictive analytics, data analytics, business intelligence. Now we're going to ML, now we're going to AI era now. So how AI and ML are transforming data, analyzing automation tasks, and uncovering hidden patterns. We talk about black box model. Before now, models like neural network used to be not explainable to stakeholders. Like when you build a neural network for maybe a credit scoring machine, a credit scoring model for a banking sector now. So stakeholders are not understanding what exactly is within the black small model, like a neural network. So what exactly is this saying? Is this model, is it discriminatory of certain tribe or certain sex? So because it can't explain it. So because it's too complex. So now in today's AI-driven society, models are now being interpretable, so you can actually look at the rules and the decision systems within the model. So we shift also between traditional statistics methods into integrating computational approach. Computational approach use of intensive hardware, intensive algorithm like deep learning neural network for making sure that yes, we have predictive accuracies. However, it also comes with its challenges, and those challenges are in terms of data quality. Data is the oil of the business. Data is very, very important in decision making, and if the data is flawed, whatever insights that will be taken from the data will automatically be formed. So it is very important that data comes with the right quality, the right structure, from the right audience as well, and also making sure this data is also secured to ensure data integrity. And that's why we're talking of GDPR now, to make sure that there's compliance in the usage of data. And we have talent shortage in this area. So now that's why we see people now developing career in terms of corporate governance, data governance, and all that. So we have opportunities within the data ecosystem that has to do with new roles in AI assurance to make sure that you have responsible AI. We talk about responsible AI now because with the ethical AI, to ensure that AI is used in the right purpose, to ensure it is not used to manipulate the consumer information. The strong job market outlook for statisticians who can actually adapt with the use of technology, modern day technology, and with their statistical knowledge will give them that cutting edge. Let's just look at the journey through AI. The birth of AI started in the 1950s. So that's where an attempt to see how a machine learning can actually mimic human behavior. So an attempt to see do you have a system that can mimic human behavior? So that was the birth of AI in the 1950s. And going forward to the 1970s and 1980s, we had more progress as they saw the promise of AI. 1997, with the invent of IBM Deep Blue, which was a computing machine to play chess. So IBM Deep Blue was able to overcome to win the chess game. So training the chess to be able to play with one of the world's best player. So these are one of the things which gave much more interest into the field of AI. So going to 2005, we now have the era of big data, where you now have data warehouse. 2006, cloud computing, AWS, Amazon AWS started developing data storage system to ensure that data is well secured in servers. 2009, we had GPUs, where we have social media data from social data like Twitter, the tweets from that you tweet, those Facebook comments that you have, those images you upload and you send to each other. So these are data that organizations also mine. But because these data are coming from different structures and different forms and in different size, so it became important to use more computational intensive machines like GPU hardware to be able to mine this data and develop a pattern and to bring insight from it. And that is why some of yours, when you look at the Facebook, you see that recommendation system identifying your friends from the images, popping up some images for image recognition. So these are some of the beauty of ML algorithms being invented by those who are into big data. In 2011 as well, we have the AI wins Jeopardy. Fast track now to 2015, where you have self-driving cars like Tesla. This is also the beauty of data. All these things are data from traffic, sensor data, weather data, put in together, mine this data to develop a model that is working extensively, and now developing a self-driving car to be able to navigate through the systems. So 2017, we have Facebook AI recognitions on the 2021. So the AI buzz, which came lately, originally began in the 90s, in 1950s. So it came to the commercial world in the last couple of years now. Of course, when something comes to the commercial world, it becomes very, very popular. So, but definitely it has been in the lab for a couple of years. So we are living in a data-driven economy. The government sector generates lots of data, which innovations and inventions can actually come out of it. The public sector, where we can actually perform insight for smart policies. The healthcare is a very great area, which we could also look into to develop predictive modeling, personalized medicines, to give insight to medical doctors. Businesses as well, definitely that's being used already in the banking sectors for market segmentation, risk modeling, product optimization. What kind of product can we produce for people? Education for evidence-based decision making. Even within the academic sector, education sector, data generated is very, very important to understand the performance of the student vis-a-vis certain input like attendance, school result and GP results. So bringing those data, you can actually bring wonderful insight from it. The evolving roles of statisticians. The statistician of the future will be a highly sought after professional with strong programming, data visualization, and domain-specific knowledge. We will leverage AI and other advanced tools while still relying on their core skills of data analysis, modeling, and interpretation. The role will continue to grow, driven by increasing data volumes in fields such as healthcare, finance, and environmental science. Statisticians will need to be adaptable, balancing deep methodological knowledge with applied and policy-focused skills to navigate complex challenges and ensure ethical, high-quality results. Wow. So it's saying that the statisticians for the future are those who can understand, how to use programming language, like, the basic use of maybe R programming language, Python programming language, data visualization tools like Excel, Power BI, because you need to be able to tell a story to your stakeholder to understand the insight that you are drawn from the data, because they don't understand the complexity. But when you tell the story using those beautiful pie chart, the bar chart, the time series graphs, to tell them, okay, this is the insights from this data, and also leveraging on artificial intelligence and technology tools to be able to enhance their core skills of data analysis and interpretation. So even though we have innovations and technology innovations, like AI, ChatGPT, and the likes, the core fundamental skills of statisticians cannot be overemphasized, because you need them for doing the interpretation of this data and insight, the modeling, the fine-tuning of the modeling. So the human face for interpretation of data insight is very, very, very important. But leveraging on technologies would make them to be very, very efficient. As it's evolving, statisticians coming into the industry should begin to look at seen as a strategic partner. Data analysts back then used to play that backseat role, just to crunch the data, focus on analysis, simple. But today, the role is evolving to be embedded within the business systems. So now you have statisticians, data analysts embedded within the teams, maybe like a marketing team or the sales team or the HR department. You see statisticians embedded in the HR team to answer questions within that particular domain or department. So giving them insights. So focus more on problem solving, more right and understanding how to answer the question and ask stakeholders the right question. So those are some of the new requirements of today's statisticians as they prepare for the competitive world. So they need to have those soft skills different from their normal and core skills. Automation is very, very important. Now, manual processing, we're talking of digital transformation. That means we want to automate those daily tasks that we do routinely Every day you send reports to your manager, you report to your departmental head every Monday, Tuesday, or every end of the month. And this routine can be mundane tasks that you can actually automate them than using two simple skills to automate those work. So when you open your system, maybe on a Friday, you're in a hurry. So it's because you've developed a rules that at 4 p.m. send email of the last report or the last sales report or the attendance report to the departmental head. So when you have a rule that is being set, it will just automate it. So that means that it makes you more to focus more on the very critical area. So technologies and keys of techniques like this needs to be used by statisticians, data analysts, and even business analysts as well, because we were looking at automation, which makes you work easier. So AI automation is a friend and not a foe, because organizations now develop different software. Microsoft, you can see Microsoft on PowerPoint, the Microsoft Excel, you see them having AI embedded into it. And this is the future. That's the new future in terms of AI revolution. So definitely these things will be embedded in most of the products that these top 5 countries, companies who are into IT will definitely ship out in this future. Future-proofing your career is very, very essential skills. It is very important for us to future-proof our career. That means evaluating ourselves, preparing ourselves to the demands of our skills in the future, making sure that we fit the versatility that is required by organizations and corporate and large corporate organizations across the world. And on top of these skills are, like I said, programming proficiency, understanding how to use programming language, and not just for statistics, but for data handling and automation. How to use it to clean your data using R packages or Python packages to clean data, to do your machine learning integration. See, so when I remember back then when Dr. Ife and I were doing consulting and training to large organizations. So one of the challenges that we had was deployment of these models then. So especially for when we have audience who are non-technical audience. But today now, the tools are very, very available that you can actually deploy this model to be, or at least to see a kind of proof of concept. Yeah, so that is why we need to be acquainted with some of these tools. So when you write the code, you have the model, you check your evaluation, the accuracy of the model, you fine tune it. Then the next thing is that, how does it come into production? How does it come into production? How do we see, okay, how do we input those variables and say and ask, okay, you just develop a credit scoring solution model now. Yes, theoretically, you send your data, yes, and it's going, but we want to input fresh data into it. So those are one of the challenges that we had when we started business analytics and predictive analytics couple down the years. But now with AI, you can actually deploy some of these models. So understanding machine learning and AI is very, very sacrosanct for the future data scientist coming from a statistical background. You need to understand the ML algorithms that you are using. It is not just about the model. It's not about the AI developing the model for you, but you need to understand what is neural network, what is deep learning, what is support vector machine, what is linear regression, what is logistic regression, you know, what is rectification techniques. How do you fine tune to make sure that this model give you the best efficiency? So those are where a lot of focus will be, not more on the technology side of the hardware, but more on accuracy. So the best statisticians or data science, data analysts will be the person who can actually develop models that can minimize as much as possible false positive, minimize false positive as much as possible. You're predicting customer that will default for a bank now. You're developing a model, so you want to make sure that your model is very, very accurate, the most accurate model as possible. So those are the technical proficiency that statisticians will need. Now, also cloud computing. I remember those days when we were talking about cloud computing, like Azure cloud computing, people were like, okay, is it computer in the cloud or something? You say, or what? Cloud computing simply means that, a remote server in a particular location, maybe in Europe, where there is, 24/7 of security, accessibility to electricity to actually power the server. So all what our data goes into the cloud because it passes through the internet and it's being stored there. So we can actually do things remotely. So for instance, now, if you do your Google Docs, you're ultimately using the cloud as well because your document is stored in a secured place. So you need to understand these top 3 cloud providers: AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. They have this platform where you can actually do your ML modeling. This is because your local laptop, your local desktop do not have the right hardware to process this large volume of data, especially when you want to use highly computational algorithm like deep learning algorithm, or you want to use neural network with a multi-layer neural network, like maybe 10 hidden layers of neural network. So you want to mine the data for a lot of hours. So when you put it into the cloud, you can actually pay according to what you consume. Another skill is the data engineering skills. So data engineering skill, understanding data pipelining, clean and preparation as skill. Like I said, as more and more data come in, we need to understand how to make sure that we have the data pipeline from the source to the destination. You want to take data from, or maybe you want to take data from Facebook, from Twitter. You want to connect to Twitter API. From the Twitter API, you want to store it in your SQL server. From the SQL server, you want to publish it to Power BI. Just let's look at that simple workflow. So as a data engineer, you need to be able to understand how to take data from the source data point, transform the data, do the necessary data feature engineering techniques, data cleaning techniques, and data visualization. So from end to end. So those are some of the skills that you also need to have as a statistician. Data management skills. This is where we're talking about data quality, data integrity, data governance, understanding the ethical standard within the organization you're working, the GDPR policies, data privacy laws and regulations based on the regions in which you are working. So these are the technical areas that which statisticians going to data science who know, or data analysts who wants to be very, very competitive in the future world of data. Technical skill is not enough. The soft skill and the domain expertise is very, very important. One of the skills that is lacking by technical analysts or data scientists are the skills of communication and storytelling. You need to be able to communicate your findings in a very clear manner to the stakeholders, to the non-technical consumers who want to make insight from it, be it your line manager, your head of departments, your team lead. Within your team, you need to be able to tell your story in a clear manner. After you've done all your mining, your model, you should be able to write the story and visualize it to the audience. So it is very, very important. And also that the domain expertise, you need to have a domain expertise in the application area in which you want to specialize in. For instance, you want to go into healthcare, maybe you want to work in the health sector, you need to understand the healthcare data, the nature of data generated from the healthcare patients, you need to have understanding about it. If you go into finance, you need to understand terminologies like credit scoring, credit risk, financial evaluation, current assets, fixed assets, you need to understand it. So that is how you can actually try. Because one thing is that the beauty of data science and statistics now is like everywhere there is data, you can actually bring insight. So these are domains where data are very, very important. Critical thinking, the ability to question data, ask questions, challenge options, identify potential biases in models. Those are the things that you also need to know. Collaboration. You are not going to work alone. You collaborate with your team, inter-collaboration, inter-department, intra-department. So you be communicating with stakeholders, communicating to other people from other units, another department, servicing them. So you need to be able to work interdisciplinary with other teams, with business people, those in the science department, those in the engineering field, those in marketing. So you need to be able to have that stakeholder collaboration. So these are the soft skills that you need to have to be able to remain competitive and thrive as a future data scientist. Like I said, technology is key. AI is key. Automation of tasks is very, very important. Automation of tasks is very, very important. Tasks that you do from time to time that could take a lot of your time. You need to be able to automate it so that you can focus on very important areas of your work. Focus on high-value works. These free statisticians for experimental designs, casual inference, and complex problem solving. Ensuring that models are fair, transparent, and interpretable. Interpretable of models, explainable of models, like I said, during years ago, we could not explain those models. The neural network, we could not explain it. So we call them transparent models now. So we call them black box model. Like a decision tree model, it's made of rules. If Ade is older than Bayo, do this. So rules, instead of rules. So, but the deep learning neural network, we couldn't explain it. So now we have an explainable AI that even when you have developed the model using deep learning or ANN, as the case may be, you can actually curate them in such a way that it can be interpretable and you can actually see what are the rules around the algorithm. Using ML for predictive modeling, and using statistical method for robust validation and uncertain quantification. Yes, you do your machine learning model, you develop your model, you use your statistical knowledge to test it, you test your hypothesis, you use statistical techniques, you evaluate it, you check the accuracy of the model, you go back to the ML again, you fine-tune the model, so you are able to blend your statistical model with your machine learning model to optimize on performance and efficiency within organizations. Lifelong learning is key. The landscape is very rapidly evolving. Learning is very, very important. Follow leaders, read research papers, attend conferences, taking online courses. These are tools and techniques to be able to be competitive in this space. Ethical judgments, navigating through data privacy, understanding the data privacy laws within the organizations, within the region. Okay, so case studies on the future outlook. From statistician to data strategists. Strategic focus on data collection, like saying hypothesis testing, prediction and automation insights, core transformation from analyst to storytelling and strategist. The modern statistician bridges the data science, AI, and decision making. Statisticians still matter, even though in the technology world, in the business world, we use tools, we use technology. We can undermine the input of statisticians because they develop unique trained and experiment design using their expertise and knowledge AI often provides single point prediction. Statisticians provide confidence intervals and probabilistic thinking. Causal inference, identifying the true cause and effect relationship, not just correlation, which is critical for making sound strategic decisions. So the man behind the data is very, very important. So that aspect, the AI cannot do that side of it, even though you say AI develop a model and set a instruction, but you still need that person who can actually look to kind of scenario analysis of it, do that fine-tuning to it. So, and you cannot do it if you do not understand statistics. Let's look at an example. A marketing team uses an off-the-shelf ML model to optimize ad spend, but the results are volatile and untrustworthy. So a marketing team was trying to use an off-the-line shelf model to optimize ad spend, but the results are volatile and untrustworthy. That means the results were not stable, so they could not rely on the reliability of result is not dependable. So statisticians intervention. So a statistician designs a proper A/B testing framework, experimental design, to incorporate rigorous validations and quantities on certain things. So buying off the shelf model is like, okay, this tool is going to look at just plug it into your existing sales data. It will just analyze it automatically. That's off the shelf model. But at the end of the day, it's not given because it's not training, it's not built based on their custom data. Because every data, probably geographical data, is unique. Every business has its own field. So you need a statistician that can look at the data to develop the A/B testing and framework and to make sure that the model is being optimized. So buying off the shelf model, or because maybe this AI has looked at a lot of data within that particular sector, or like maybe banking sector now, and say, okay, yes, we bought a model from somewhere in Europe, US, or maybe like SaaS model, and you want to go and deploy it on your server in Nigeria, where the fields, the variables, the demographics are not consistent with the demographics you have in Nigeria. So you have that inconsistency in the model. So you need statisticians that will look into the model and fine-tune it to the fits of the particular area. So the statistical intervention is very, very, very important. So outcome, reliable lead time leads to 50% increase of returns of investment over using a black box approach, which means that you just saw an AI now. Okay, AI is doing something. Put it to AI. Okay, AI, look at this data. Develop a model. Yes, AI is going to develop the model for you, but it's not going to put that customization to fit in to your business nuances. Within the healthcare, definitely it's also needed as well to optimize your business. Statisticians use the business to diet marketing for fraud detection and supply chain optimization. So business optimization, healthcare innovation, these are areas where statisticians can actually be very, very relevant, especially in the area of fraud. Fraud is a very, very sensitive area when it comes to the business. Every business wants to make sure they minimize as possible the fraud to, if possible, 0%. So these are domain areas where expertise are needed, and statisticians and people, data scientists who understand this knowledge can actually become competitive, because fraud is, people always have a means of trying to defraud. So we also need people to be able to be on that side of the defense. City planning within the location, the city, integrating data sources, predictive modeling, and Power BI storytelling. So these are some of those areas where statisticians can actually use data and technology to help improve maybe the flow of traffics, organizations, of the environment. So this is where statisticians can actually be very, very relevant. I'll talk about this earlier on, the core skills that need to have for statisticians. domain expertise, technical professions, core statistical models. We cannot overemphasize that. That is very, very important. The core statistical skills, data analysis, modeling and interpretation of data and model is important. Technical domain, where the statisticians want to focus. AI, the use of AI, technology should be the friend of a statistician. Yes, you need to leverage on technology if you want to be very, very competitive. Some way, the data economy requires statisticians to adapt. Technical skills is very, very important. Statisticians should be looking at strategic partner within the organizations and not the usual staying at the back of the scene and just looking at the data and sending the analysis. No, it goes beyond that. Okay, so I'm going to say this is it. The certificate manifesto that I have. Stay curious, stay ethical, blend art and science, automate the routine, elevate the human, build trust through transparency, turn numbers into narratives that inspire change. So, and the notes that's how I have for you. In the words of drowning in data, statisticians are the architects of meaning. Thank you. So, on that note, I say thank you.
Thank you very much. Grateful for this beautiful session. While I know that quite a number of persons may have one or two questions to ask, I would like to, like I told you, I have a few questions that I have itemized. Can you please stop sharing, sir, so that the screen can give us room for people to see us? So I told you I have a few questions I would like to throw at you. I like the fact that you have really spoken to enlighten how do I put it now, a ready-made statistician. But like I do said in the video I sent out while talking about this program, I spoke about the fact that you began your journey. I'm aware that your first degree is in accounting, then your master's degree is I think business, something like business technology. So I want to ask, many people here are not statisticians, just like you are, but are interested in moving into data-related careers. What's the best way for someone from a non-technical background to start that journey? For someone like you, maybe you can share from your experience how you. I'm aware of the fact that you went through the perforating the boxes before you're able to connect the dot. But as someone who has gone through the process from different software, learning this and doing that, how can one actually dive into this field? You know, even a statistician, we have to dive into data world because it's beyond what we are taught in the classroom. So what's the best way for someone from a non-technical background to start that journey? I mean, I'm not a statistician now. I'm even in art, but I want to become a data scientist. I want to go into data-related skills. How can one go about it? May also start by sharing your experience, walking down through to where you are, and go on.
Okay, so I remember then why I got interested in data. So I think then IBM came to our school, back then. So we was talking about business intelligence. So talking about business intelligence, that business intelligence is very, very important to be used in organizations, which is of looking at data to provide insight to the organizations, to make informed decisions and all that. So I got interested into it, in it. So I got more curious and I began to do research. I saw a lot of information, business analytics and data analytics. Then there were no much resources in the area of business intelligence, data analytics, predictive analytics. But then it was called business intelligence and business analytics. So then I had to read more of research papers. I see research papers maybe like Stanford and MIT research papers, you understand, and these research papers are kind of theoretical. So I needed something that would be more hands-on. So it was kind of daunting learning curve for me because there was no much information around the space. But of course, passion was a very important tool, that passion, that drive to continue to just look for how to navigate these silos of information. So what I did was to pick up a little book on data analysis, go back to data analysis, start doing basic reports, basic pie charts, doing visualization. And I think I was using ClickView. Yes, I remember ClickView for visualization. I started by doing visualization, I'll do the charts, but I knew there was so much more. I knew there was so much more to it. Then I was studying Java, Java programming. So, but I couldn't get that through. But using ClickView, I was just doing the visualization and all that. So along the line, I got to know of Power BI, which is a visualization. So I was also using Power BI to do visualization. Then over time, I now began to understand that what I needed and what I did not know and what I know. It's just like, how you people do PhD now. I have people doing PhD. They will not understand, or they'll just be confused. Later, they'll now understand, okay, like, okay, this is the direction. So later I now got, okay, this is what I need to know. The programming language is not the data science skill. It is just a tool.
I love that. I love that. Please repeat that statement again.
The programming language is not a data science. It's just a tool.
It's just a tool. I love that, sir. Thank you, sir. It's very important. Continue,
Yes,
sir.
yes. I now realize that Java is just a program language. It's not just a program language tool. It's not data science its own. So it's just a tool, but it doesn't mean it is data science. So that I realized. It took me time to understand this is Java. This is just a programming language. It is not data science. So going forward, I now began to see R. I said, okay, R used by universities, used in Stanford and all that. Okay, I realized, okay, R, I can use R to do linear regression, to do logistic regression. Okay, I can use R to do decision tree. Okay, fine, it's getting interesting. So I started studying R programming language. In R programming language, I realized that there are also GUI tools. You can actually use GUI tools within R. For those who just want to start programming in R. So you have GUI tools that you use on R. So it will pop up the GUI. So when you are putting the point and click, it will be writing the code for you. So if I do that point and click, so it will now say, okay, this is what I just did, the read.csv and input. So when I look, okay, so I'll now compare my work with the outcome. So then I now started doing my charts and report, and I doing modeling. Later, I now discovered other GUI tools for data science. So my smooth side now began when I knew that, yes, I needed to understand data for analysis, a bit of R programming, yes, the GUI tool to develop the model. And that made me to add more interest in data science because, there's always a time for diminishing returns when you just get tired. Then after that, I now started learning more of Python because what I have been able to build a model using the GUI tool, which is going to give you the same result with the programming language, except that the programming is just showing the raw code. So with that, it gave me that pathway. So after that, I studied Python and I studied other programming language along the line. So that's how my journey into.
You didn't even mention some of the data science tools that you were partner for in Africa. I remember that back then, 2013, you were the first. 2014, you were the first person to talk about NIME.
NIME analytics.
People are not talking about it now. And
no, I mentioned it. I said NIME. Okay, GUI tool. Okay, NIME. Yes, I used GUI tool, and that was the prediction I made for
GUI, graphics user interface. For those of us that may want to find out, GUI, graphics user interface. All right, Please continue, sir.
Okay, so GUI, yes, okay, point and click. So visual, instead of me using programming, so I use GUI, which was NIME and Rapid Miner, NIME Analytics. So I realized that, okay, I can actually build my model now through the process flow. It aided my learning because with the GUI, I can see like a flow, like a workflow, like when you have like a workflow of everything, your data inputs, processing, statistic, mean, median, mode, average, inputs, missing value, replace missing value, replace fields, transform. So all the process flow using NIME, I could actually see it. Then I look at my model. So I can pick a use decision tree so I can see. So it made me to now at least enjoy what I was doing. So later on, I now started doing the programming side of things. So, and I think that if anybody wants to go into data science, can actually explore that route so that you won't get at the point of, you won't get maybe tired or get discouraged at the line. Use GUI tool, and it's even easier today where you have AI and ChatGPT. So some of the things, the challenges we also had was deploying the model. So with the AI tools, this challenge is being solved. So that's just the joint.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Please, I need you to know that if you have a question for myself or Mr. Yemi, you can just raise up your hand. I'm going to give you room to ask questions, or you can just drop it in the chat box if you have any question relating to the topic or anything around data science. All right. Skills that matter most. There's these buzzwords. I think some of those things you have mentioned in your slides, but for more emphasis sake, I'll just like you to just highlight them. I remember when I met you, those days I used to brag for being a strong programmer in SAS, and you actually bring my attention to the fact that the understanding the concept is more important. And those were the days that were not even AI around. It wasn't even machine learning days. I remember those days of business analytics, predictive modeling, before we now gradually data mining process, before we enter into data science as a general word and AI coming in. So there's a lot of buzzwords. You just meet fellow researchers, you go for conferences, they are just using big terms, and you just feel like, man, where will I get started? So beyond all these buzzwords, I would like you to just let us know from your own experience anyway, which foundational skills truly matter the most for anyone hoping to stay relevant. You just mentioned the fact that everyone has to continue learning. Everyone has to follow a process. We just finished a training recently, boot camp. I remember telling them, and someone asked me this question, like, when he told them she was going to learn data analysis with SPSS, our friends were like, no, why not why not Python, all these things. And you said it earlier. Now we are starting Excel data analysis training with Excel in a week time, and some people are like, I excel at this time now when there are bigger names, but maybe that they may be correct. But from your own experience, which foundational skill truly matters the most for anyone hoping to stay relevant? So I'm not in statistics. I'm just trying to come in. What are the skills I need to go in first so that I can stay relevant and continue to grow in this ever-growing data economy, sir?
One skill that I will implore, people can actually have, which is even applicable to other domains, is the art to master is the art of problem solving. The art of problem solving. The art of problem solving is the ability to look at a task and to have that creative thinking of going through it to create a solution to solving a particular task. So if you want to start foundationally, you can actually start using as little as Excel, because organizations and companies still use Excel, no matter how it is. Yes, you can use Excel for basic understanding, looking at your data, which is okay, but gradually move into tools like R or GUI tool like NIME Analytics, and or maybe Rapid Miner for building your model. But I would like people to have the art of problem solving, because having that art of problem solving makes you to think outside the box and not to streamline yourself to a particular way or mindset in providing a solution. Because beyond the tool, the understanding, the knowledge is very, very important. So you can have the tool, and if you do not know how to use it, you may not be able to solve it. So I think the art of problem solving is what I would say people should develop in order to stay relevant in data science, because at times some clients do not really know how you want to solve, or just get the job done, especially for the industry. They just want only to get the job done. So understand the art of problem solving and understanding, yes, to get started here, you just need to understand that the art of problem solving and start from maybe Excel, data analysis, basic data analysis, move on to the use of Power BI tool, yes, for doing the visualization, yes, for visualizing your charts or reports, doing those beautiful slides. Move on to data understanding for building model, basic model, use GUI tool so you can enjoy it. While you do that, now use your learn Python and R, or Python specifically for industry. Yes. And that's how you navigate your space into the data science space. So you can actually use as the root.
If I ask the next question, just one answer.
Okay.
For you, Python or R? I know you used it too conveniently, but for you, Python or R? You know, this is a debate that can never end. But for you, Python, R.
And you people are causing Python and R, they are doing their own, and people are like, okay, okay, so this is it. If I'm from the business side, from the industry side, I'll look at Python. But if
Why?
Yes, I'll look at Python. But from the if I'm on the academic, you understand, I could look at R. But the thing is that you can actually do solutions, the same solutions with Python and R. Yes, even in industry, yes. But it's more because the reason is for Python, you have packages that are solution oriented in Python. For instance, now if you go to GitHub, now you can see different solutions that are built on Python. You can see, like for instance, a credit scoring model that you can actually run. You get that is built on Python easily. And you, like I said, you have to look at the trend. So when you look at solution, what are people using? What technology are they using? People are writing more of Python code, Python scripts. Do you understand? So into applications. So where are you going to? Are you going to academy? Are you going to industry? If I want to go to industry, I think I'm going to Python. Yeah, but if I'm coming from R, yes, that's okay. There are other things in R. But for R, you have a lot of statistical packages in R. You have R, for instance, A/B testing packages, econometric packages in R, forecasting package in R, time series package in R, so statistical model. So if you want to do your statistical analysis from academic standpoint, you see a lot of the R package, because these are what is used in, the university like Stanford, and of course they use Python later. Python came into the space. Before even Python became popular, R was the tool was being used, but Python came with more of industry focus. So that's the I'll go for Python because I'm on the industry side. So.
Actually, I agree with you. When we were in the industry with you, sir, Python was the order of the day. But when I returned to academia, I found out that R is more prevalent there. It's more or less of a research-based tool, more that is flexible for most researchers. But I've always said to people, in fact, when it comes to the issue of even development, deployment, R may have to be running after Python, so to speak. So for people who are looking beyond academia, who are looking beyond research, like you want to get yourself ready to be able to work with any development team or what have you, while you must have understanding of both, we are just looking at, but you may need to really dive in deeper, talking about where to get deeper now in Python. All right, thank you very much, sir. I was going to ask you, I intend that was going to be the last question anyway, but Let me quickly chip that in. I will come back, even though it looks like I'm about to do what we call outlier. And this question more or less sounds like an outlier.
There's always an outlier.
Yes, are you getting bored with data science? Because the last time I checked, you are now an astrologer. Is there a connection between your data science background with astrology? Do you still see yourself as someone who is still practicing data when it comes to astrology? It's very important. I was hoping to end with that, but is there a connection between technology and this? I know you use technology a lot for your astrology predictions and the like, but the fact that it has to do with prediction, identifying patterns, is there a connection with them, or it's a different entire view that took you there?
Okay, so I think naturally it's the man's wants is always unlimited. You just keep having that test for knowledge. Okay, so because I love numbers naturally, and astrology also has that the use of numbers. You look at the longitude and latitudes, the positions of the celestials in the sky. So you look at the analysis. So I look, okay, this is number based. I can actually make insight from it. Okay, so and I can actually blend my knowledge of data science and astrology together. At least, astro data scientist, which will make a lot of sense to help see how this can actually solve problems. So yeah, to the extent that there is made up of numbers, yes, there is that that correlation issue. In fact, there's a research going on how you can on using machine learning, just like I said, AI ML in astrology, because so that by the time you put in some information, your date of birth is a data point. So your date of birth, that is a data point for astrological analysis. So put your data in, the machine learning can actually mine it and give you an output. So now, but we can't do that if you do not understand both worlds. If you do not understand data science, if you don't understand astrology, you can't blend both worlds. And you can't give what you don't have. So my test for data science made me to love astrology, and along the line, I'm saying, okay, the meeting ground between developing data science products that have an astrological analysis undertone to it, just for business efficiency. Yes, of course, yeah, there to an extent there's a correlation from there between both worlds. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Maybe before the end of first quarter of next year, I may be bringing you back to come and engage us on data science for astrology. Let's look at the connection between them, maybe before the end of first quarter of 2026. By that time, maybe that solutions would have been on ground, the research ongoing, and you'll be able to demonstrate for us. All right. Talking about career growth, sir, for those who are already in data space now, how can they position themselves for global opportunities like remote roles, research collaborations, or international projects? I'm aware that this is what you are vast at. You are privileged of doing even long before you left Nigeria. How can a young coming data science or someone in data space in general, maybe management or science or visualization, business intelligence, or what have you, how can one equip themselves to actually be relevant now beyond the shores of Nigeria and beyond?
Okay, that's a very good question, Dr. So, okay, for one to become competitive in today's world, globally competitive, we need to be abreast of the tools and technology available out there. And one of the very, very important tools and technologies available out there is the knowledge of cloud, which is I think is lacking behind. So organizations are moving their data from the local server to the cloud because the data generated are becoming enormous. So now, one needs to understand cloud computing like Azure or AWS or Google Cloud, how to actually do those your data analysis, data and report on the cloud. So that is one skill that a data person who aspiring to go global to get a job, remote job should actually need. Of course, the SQL is part of those tools kit that the person should know. Knowledge of SQL is very, very vital today, interestingly, surprisingly, even amidst AI and different data storage systems. So SQL is also very, very important. Yeah. And also is your ability to solve problems. That is very, very important as well. Do not undermine that, the art of problem solving skills, because you will be given different business scenarios and organizations have different complexities. So if you have developed that art of looking at situations and be able to find yourself around it, yes, you'll be able to survive, because at times the skills, the technologies you use may be different from what they will have in-house, but you want to publicly solve the task. But if you have the heart, it's okay, this is how I am going to solve this particular task. So Azure, cloud first, cloud important. Reporting skills, your SQL, communications, because you need to communicate to the interviewer. Communication is very important. And also you have the art of problem solving skills. So you need to have these skills for you to navigate. And every other one additional could also be an edge. But I'm looking at those core areas that you should have. Yes. And if it's, for instance, you talk about data science and not data engineering. And if I want to do something like data engineering skills, you also look at Azure as well. Definitely very, very important. Still those cloud tools, because your data engineering tasks will actually be done on the cloud. So data engineering tools and skills like Spark ML, Spark for data engineering. So that technology needs to be understood as well. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a question from the audience. Someone is asking, John Yeboah Boame. Is it Boama? Sorry for the way I pronounce your name, sir. So please, sir, is an experience in SPSS tool good for a beginner in data science? So he's asking like, okay, if I have experience using SPSS very well, is that good to get started as a data scientist? And even if he has started, what is the next thing such person can actually now be looking at after, now is good with SPSS? What's the next thing, next line of action to dive into data science?
Okay, so with the knowledge we're using SPSS, definitely you understand statistical analysis and other techniques as well. So the next thing is to probably look into programming language like Python to be able to implement your task. But data understanding, machine learning modeling, building of machine learning model using R or Python should be your next task, because you already have knowledge of SPSS. So the next thing is, and your statistical knowledge, now learn about how to build machine learning model from start to finish, from data understanding, data pre-processing, building model, machine learning evaluation, and so that's, you may not focus on deployment first, but to building the model, that's the next thing you should need to understand. Pick up any course, basic course on the data understanding, data pre-processing, model building, and model evaluation. Those are the phases in machine data science model. The last phase is deployment. That's after you go, but focus on those areas first. Get that skill to understand the data, to pre-process it, to build the model, and to evaluate the model, to make sure that you get as accurate model, percentage of accurate model as possible. Then that is your way towards becoming data scientist. Now you can do that, like I said, using GUI tool like 9 analytics to make it easy, so that you can enjoy what you are learning, because I like people to enjoy what they're learning. then also learning the Python skill by the side of it to be able to build that model. So that is how we gradually navigate into the data science space.
All right, thank you very much. I want to believe your question has been answered. If you're already good with SPSS and want to dive into data science, the next thing is to look for a tool that is more devoted to data science and start practicing learning. I think after this cohort that we are currently doing, that want to start, that's for Excel. The next tool we will be looking at is R. Is actually R. So if you have not joined our platform, it's totally free. The training is there. The cohorts are usually free. I've already dropped the link to our group. I've dropped it in the chat box. You can just go there, follow the link so that you can be added to our group, so that you can partake in the sessions and other stuff. We also intend to upload this video on our YouTube channel so that people can be able to watch again and be able to learn one thing or the other. All right, just on a lighter note, sir, in a world where machine learning I'm analyzing almost everything, like AI is doing everything for people now. In fact, I had an experience as a data analyst this week. A lady whose supervisor asked to reach out to me to analyze for her, reached out to me and was not ready to pay for the analysis. She told me she had done the analysis. So by the time I requested to see the analysis, I found out that it's actually AI generated results. And I was very sincere with her to agree that she had actually presented the work well, so to speak. While there are loopholes in what she had presented sincerely, but the truth is she already had the results. And for a few people here who are data analysts, especially for researchers, for academia, they will know that there has been a drop, a downtrend in the demand for their need. So what can one do now to make a difference? Because even this data science we are trying to learn, there's another AI being developed to do it. So how can one, what are the tools, maybe soft skills to actually make a difference? Because it's now in an ever world where everybody who have little or no knowledge about this thing can pull in their data, even though the results sometimes may not actually be accurate. So what can one do? And after this, I'll just ask one more question, then we'll be out of this place.
Okay, so AI has come to stay. It's like come to stay, and it has its impact on every sector, and every business or every career path, from project management to customer service, to people who are Scrum Masters and all the like, the IT, even software developers. So AI is already writing software and codes, and it's going to get better. That's the truth. AI's performance is going to get better, yeah, and more. So, but one thing that the AI will not the key is the human face, the human side of ability to draw actionable insights to stakeholders. That is where the person, the data scientist, can actually stand out. Storytelling and communication, the art of storytelling, the art of communication, and the art of bringing insights will now be sought after skill. Problem-solving skills will now be one of the sought after skills, because the technology is already there, the tools are already there. But ability to mix and match these tools, blending of these tools will now be one of the sought after skills. So your ability to draw insight from it. Yes, you have it. It has done the model. So what can you do with it? What insight can you tell the stakeholders from it? What innovations can you talk about? So creativity and the artistic critical thinking will be. So we need to develop our creative thinking. So more of that soft skills will be needed because the technical side of things, just like you said, is being lifted. The outside are being lifted by the AI. And the time when we were doing all those things, it was easy for us because we were doing, we do the model, big ML model, everything, shine, everything. But now AI is doing this model for us. You can imagine now and that is why our curriculum for data training now will now have to reflect because we can't use the same curriculum that we use in training the likes of Access Bank and other companies. Then we have to blend it to the taste of the modern technologies today. So that's it. So that communication out of service skills should be one of those areas that data science should work in. Then domain knowledge. Understand the domain knowledge. For instance, if the AI wants to build the model for credit scoring, it is what you garbage in, garbage is what you feed into the AI that you give. But if the statisticians have that domain knowledge, okay, learning about finance, what are the technical skills in finance, what are the knowledge in finance, what are the keywords in finance, what are the policies in finance. So by the time you see the model, the statistician can actually say, okay, is this being implemented? Is it being done? So this was those soft skills area where the data scientists or statistician can actually come out. So collaboration, the AI will not be able to collaborate. But of course, we can't undermine AI now because AI is talking to people now. It can even be part of the team now. Very soon, AI will not be part of the team. You do team together. If you're asking AI question, yes, we know. Yes, that is it because it's going to get really, really, yeah. Because So, but that's human side of things. That interactive side of things may not really be available at the moment from AI. So that is why communication and storytelling, critical thinking skills, collaboration and domain, those critical soft skills will be that edge in the future. Yes, that is
Thank you very much, Mr. Yemi. I want to believe people that joined already have value for their data. And I must sincerely appreciate your time and your patience. Finally, and like on a final note, if you were to give one piece of advice to anyone who wants to thrive in this data-driven era, I know that some of the things you have said earlier. Now, anyway, whether they are statistician or not, after critical thinking, after the communication skill, the collaboration skill, what will be the first and the one and only, like you don't have all the luxury of time, someone just say, sir, how can I stay relevant in this data-driven era? I don't know what to do. I'm confused. Every skill I'm learning, people are saying, I can do it, I can do it. What would be just one word that you want to give to that person that I know is enough to fuel the person to discover the next thing to do?
the one word is develop that passion to be able to identify a problem and to solve it using data and technology.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yemi. I must say that I appreciate this privilege to have called you, and thank you for the honor of joining us. You are first facilitator at Statistics Graduate Clinic, and I had to do this intentionally as a matter of special or respect I have for you when it comes to helping young ones grow in their career field. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We hope that when we call you next, most likely to come and talk about your escapades in astrology. I hope you'll be willing. I know you have monetized that training anyway somehow. I hope you'll be willing to come and share some of the things you've been sharing with us. Please, if anybody wants to reach out to you, can you please share one or two things about how to reach out to you? Either your TikTok or your number, if you don't mind, to ask one or two other questions.
Okay, so you can reach out to me on my
can you please be audible, sir?
Okay, you can reach out to me on my email. You can send me an email at mayowa1@yahoo.com.
Mayowa1@yahoo.com.
Yeah. And or yes, or you could actually send an email to me at ade@akondai.com.
That one is serious. I did my contact, right?
Yes, at akondai.com. Yes.
Okay. I want to believe quite a number of us got that mayowa1@yahoo.com. In that channel, will be faster and easier for us to reach out to Mr. Yemi Odeneye. Thank you for joining us tonight. And for those of us that for our patience, I appreciate. Thank you. See you next month. And when I say next month, I mean the last Sunday in November. We'll be commencing our next cohort of pre-data analysis training. This time around, we are looking at Excel. If you are already comfortable with Excel, don't bother. I've told us that our concept, what we teach is concept, is not really the tool, as it were. Why we are going to demonstrate the tool, but we'll teach the concept that backs up Excel, and that's what we'll be having in the next 4 weeks. From next week Saturday, that's what we'll be starting. So if you'd like to join us, or for other things we get to do at Statistics Graduate Clinic, you can just look at the chat box there. I already placed the link there so that you can join us and be part of us. It's totally free. Our trainings are free. Our webinars are free, and every other things we get to do. We don't bore you with too much messages on group. If we don't have major message, we don't drop message there. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you, Mr. Yemi Odeneye, for joining us. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Hey, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Yemi, do I
Yes.
need to stop the recording
Yes.
naturally?
Yeah.
Before I leave, okay?
Yeah, you can stop it. So let me stop it for you.
Okay, I'll also do that. Okay.